912 Sports, Southeast Georgia's #1 source for high school sports. Welcome to On Air with 912 Sports, a weekly look at high school sports in Southeast Georgia, featuring coaches, players, and journalists who know the ins and outs of prep athletics. Presented by the award-winning writers and broadcasters of 912 Sports, and sponsored by Coastal Pines Technical College, Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Prime South Bank, and Gibson Animal Clinic. Now, this week's headlines.
Football season opens in Southeast Georgia 1 week from tomorrow. We'll have a look at the final week of scrimmage games coming up. Happy birthdays this week to on-air viewers Sophia and Stacy Taylor and the G-Man, Garrison Rifen of the Red Terrors. He'll be back on the radio next week. Get your free copy of 912 Sports Magazine featuring the all 912 Sports preseason team. Check our website for more information at 912sports.net. Click on magazines to find out where you can get your free copy. Coming up, we hear from Keith Goss of Bacon County, Coach Russ Murray of Charlton, and Coach Brandon Derrick of Frederica Academy. Thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports.
At Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, you don't have to be an athlete to get the region's best orthopedic care. Our board-certified orthopedic surgeons and physicians treat injuries and conditions that affect just about any joint or bone in your body. Plus, we're backed by the support of Southeast Georgia Health System. From fracture repair to joint replacement, Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery will get you moving again. Call 1-855-ASK-SGHS. That's 1-855-275-7447 or visit sghs.org/summit.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal. Let's take a tour of the 912 and all the scrimmage games being played tomorrow night. We're getting closer to real deal high school football. The regular season starts a week from tomorrow, Friday, August 20th. But first, one more week of preseason scrimmage games all over Southeast Georgia. Get out and see a high school football game. But remember, tomorrow night is only a scrimmage. It's not for real until August 20th. So now here's a list of who's playing tomorrow night. We start just outside of Nahunta, Caney Bay Stadium to be exact, where the AAA Brantley County Herons of Coach Jeff Cannon will face the AA Vidalia Indians of Coach Jason Cameron. Meanwhile, in the far southwest corner of the state, the 4A state semifinalist Bainbridge Bearcats will host the Glen Academy Red Terrors of Coach Rocky Hidalgo. Most high school football fans will have an eye on Titletown tomorrow night as the legendary Valdosta Wildcats face the Camden County Wildcats in the on-field return of Coach Jeff Herron.
Today, I don't know what to expect. I haven't had a chance to see these guys up against other people for real. We've been to camps and we've done padded camps and 7-on-7s, but to actually get out there in a game type situation, playing at Valdosta, the winningest high school program in the history of football, their stadium, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what to expect. And I guess just more than anything, I just want to see how we're going to respond to that. And, we're not going to be perfect. I know that. We're going to make a lot of mistakes. But I want to find out if our kids, kind of where we're at with their will and their desire to win and their attitudes and all that. And again, we can't get that until we see somebody else. Well, I've always, as a high school coach in the state of Georgia, I've always liked going to Valdosta to play. It's the mecca of high school football, I guess. And I can remember one of the times back in the early 2000s that we went over there for a scrimmage in the preseason. And right before kickoff, heck, I almost passed out. I was so excited, and it just, yes, it's a nice place to play. They've got great tradition, great fans, great players, and it's a really good environment for us to go get a taste of, find out where we're at.
The Camden at Valdosta scrimmage is tomorrow night at Bazemore Hyder Stadium in Valdosta. To Kathleen, Georgia, in Houston County, the Richmond Hill Wildcats will make the road trip to face the Veterans Warhawks. At Glenn County Stadium, the Brunswick High Pirates will welcome the Ware County Gators in a scrimmage of former region foes. Here's what Coach Sean Pender had to say about tomorrow night's scrimmage against the Ware County Gators.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially getting under that Friday night light feel. You know, all the stuff we've been doing this summer with the 7-on-7s, OTAs, the practices. They're in the daytime. They're not in the evening time. So this will be our first experience under the lights, and we're going to be excited to do it. And we have a great opponent coming in to play, and they'll really be able to let us know where we are. And I'm very excited about it, and looking forward to the opportunity to strap on against Ware County. We are not taking this game as we're game planning as we were playing them in a real game, because when you're playing a quarterback like Castellano, you have to spy him. But what we're going to do is we got to figure out what our base is. We can't go in there and do a special defense just for Castellano. And if we were doing a real game situation where we had to beat Ware County, you have to spy a kid like him. He's too special. So we're going to go out there and see how we can go in our base stuff without spying him, and hopefully he won't hurt us too bad with his legs, because the kid is definitely, in my opinion, he's probably the best dual threat kid in the state, if not better. I mean, a lot of talk about and hype about the Lowndes kid, who I think is a phenomenal athlete, but I don't think he's better than Castellano.
Ware vs. Brunswick High tomorrow night at Glenn County Stadium. Elsewhere, Effingham County's Rebels of new head coach John Ford will travel to Screven County. On Saturday, the Jeff Davis Yellow Jackets welcome the Wilcox County Patriots. Again, that's Wilcox versus Jeff Davis Saturday in Hazelhurst. A showdown scrimmage in Alma tomorrow night, where Coach Keith Goss and the Bacon County Red Raiders take on the Appling County Pirates. New coach Jordan Mullis will make his on-field debut tomorrow night in Bacon County. Here's what he had to say about the scrimmage.
Biggest thing is offense. Getting snaps, getting formations, getting transitions, getting tempo. We get our special teams on and off the field. But anyway, we just want to get that stuff on tape, and then have an opportunity to see it game like referees out there, whistles blowing, a little bit of crowd noise, and see how fast we can go. But everybody thinks we've got all these 500-pound kids running around and all that. We do have some very good players, but we've got some very good high school players that we think are character guys, weight room guys, good academics. We don't have what we played at GAC. I think there was an obvious difference. We'll never be as big as Wayne. I think there's an obvious difference, but we like what we got. But it's not this six-headed monster that everybody thinks it is. It's a bunch of kids that work hard and want to represent their community and play well.
Bacon County coach Keith Goss is looking forward to a successful season and had this to say.
We're developing as a program. In the first year I was there, we were 1-9. We have a lot of things to clean up. Last year we were 5-5 and very close to being 8-2. And we have to constantly raise the bar. Raise our expectation and keep challenging ourselves against better and better competition. Appling County's right next door, and what a great opportunity for us to challenge ourselves against a program like Appling County. Yeah, we're ready to go. I mean, we've had a solid core group of guys there working hard all summer, and we're ready to go on the pad and start off.
Tomorrow night in Folkston, Savannah's Islands High School will scrimmage the Charlton County Indians of Coach Russ Murray. Metter will travel to Statesboro to take on the Blue Devils tomorrow night in DeBoro. Last year's AAA state champion Pierce County Bears will travel to Eastman to face the Dodge County Indians. We spoke to Bears coach Ryan Herring about that scrimmage.
I kind of want to put our kids in a situation where we got to line up and adjust both sides of the ball. We don't know anything about Dodge. I know we got a new coach. We're not worried about scheming for Dodge. We just want to run. When we run, just see how we block, whatever they line up in, see how we defend, whatever they show us, just to see how good our base stuff is on both sides of the ball. You always want to do well, but I just want to see us play sound, fundamental football, and get after it, really.
New Long County head coach Mike Feaster gets his career started in Darien tomorrow night as the Blue Tide scrimmages the McIntosh County Academy Buccaneers at the Ship. In Lyons, Georgia, Frederica Academy will take on Briarwood and Robert Toombs Christian Academy in a three-way scrimmage. Jenkins goes to Hinesville to scrimmage Liberty County and Coach Kirk Warner, and Toombs County will scrimmage Benedictine in Savannah. That's a look at the scrimmage games being played tomorrow night in Southeast Georgia. Get out and see a high school football game this weekend.
Play it loud and rev it up. Robbie Robertson's got trucks built for tough.
Make your way to Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, where the deals are bigger than ever. Looking for a stylish midsize car, a spacious SUV, or a truck that performs at work and play? Robbie Robertson wants your vehicle and is paying top dollar. Now is the time to buy. Fords are cheaper in the swamp.
It makes sense Prime South Bank would have a great mobile app. Nobody is as mobile as our customers. For a century, they've chased dreams, followed their hearts, took the road less taken, made a new path, taken leaps of faith. At Prime South, offering the latest digital banking, secure pay apps, and new online lending is part of a mobile tradition that goes way back. Life is mobile. So is Prime South. Find your Prime. Member FDIC.
Welcome, sports fans, and thanks for watching On Air with 912 Sports. I'm Sean Smoke, publisher of 912 Sports, joined here by the Bacon County Red Raider coach, Coach Keith Goss. Coach, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing good.
Coach, let's go back to that OTA and talk a little bit about how you and your coaching staff use a camp like that to get better for the fall.
Anytime you can jump in with the likes of Coffee and Glen Academy and Monroe and get your guys that experience and that level of competition. It's going to give you something to grow from, and so we got that film, and we'll be able to start working with our guys on making corrections this week, and it's just an important part of our growth process.
Right, and let's go back to when this season really unofficially started for you guys in the spring. You guys were scheduled to have a spring game, but then it kind of turned into something a little bit different, a kind of a unique situation. But go back and tell the people what you guys did for spring and who all was involved in it.
We were just supposed to scrimmage Bleckley, and then about 2 days before we were supposed to have our spring game, Veterans lost their spring game, so we ended up kind of working out a little, three-team deal there, and it was really good for everybody involved.
Right, and you guys ran it almost like an OTA. One group or two groups were playing, the other group rested, and kind of did like a round robin kind of thing.
Right, and so. One team was on offense, the next team would bring out their offense, the third team would then be on defense, and it continued to roll like that throughout the process.
Right. Well, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your team. Who are some offensive players that you're going to count on this year, and who are some defensive players you're going to count on this year?
Tyron Dean, he's going to be one of our receivers coming back for us. Caleb Griffin, who is a returning starter for us. Jamel Hart on the offensive line. Rasheed Slade is probably going to fill the role in for us at running back. And we have several other guys that are in the mix. We got Kobe, we got him off the basketball court. So we're interested to see what he does when things get going.
Right. And then over on the defensive side of the ball, who are some of those names and numbers that people should be on the watch for?
Trey Woodbury has been a staple for us up front. Then we're looking at Gaddafi Newsome at linebacker, and then Trent Music going in his third year starting at safety.
Well, Coach, unfortunately, you have the unenviable task of playing in that tough region, Region 2A, I believe is what it is, with the likes of Vidalia, Jeff Davis. Talk a little bit about that competition and what you guys are going to face week in and week out.
It's a good region, and so it's competitive. We missed the playoffs last year. We ended up 5-5. But in region games, there was 3 games, that one came down to double overtime, one we lost by a point, and another one we lost on a drop pass to the eventual region champion. So we had several opportunities to be right there in the mix, and we're looking to grow from that and definitely be in that mix this year.
Exactly. Well, Coach, we're just weeks away from scrimmage. Like I said, I think your first scrimmage, I believe, is the 13th of August. You guys are going to be playing Appleton. But talk a little bit about that game, what you expect to learn from that game, and then what going into the season, what's ahead for the Bacon County Red Raiders.
Well, it's a lot like the OTA situation. You want to, get as much work against quality opponents as you can, and Appleton County, I can't say enough about them. They're, played 3 rounds deep last year. Got a great program over there, and should be a great challenge for us and help us measure where we're at. And if we have some things that we need to work on, I expect for them to expose it and us be able to work on that before we ever get to our real football games.
Mm-hmm. Right, and then the season, you got some special events that are coming up during the season. Talk a little bit about some of those things that are going to be happening.
Well, we're in the process of putting up a Jumbotron. It will probably be one of the 10 biggest in the state, definitely in South Georgia. We're excited about that, coming to our town. We are, scrimmaging at home against Appling. We have 3 road games, and then we will do our Wall of Fame night, which is we induct 5 members from former teams into our Wall of Fame every year. And so we'll do that our first home game, and when we show off the Jumbotron for the first time.
All right. Well, that's a lot of things happening over here in Bacon County. This program's growing. Like I said, just barely missed the playoffs last year. A couple plays here, a couple plays there. You guys are in the playoffs. So best of luck to you, Coach, on this season, and we'll catch up with you later on.
Sounds great.
All right. Welcome, sports fans. We're here with Coach Russ Murray, head coach of the Charlton County Indians. Coach, appreciate you being on there with 912 Sports today.
Thank you for having me.
Coach, all down here at the OTA here at Camden County, getting after it, getting better. Talk a little bit about this camp and how you guys use it as a coaching staff to get better for the season.
Well, you actually get on the field and all the concepts you're trying to teach them, after weight training and things like that, you're actually going against somebody else, and you're getting after it, and it kind of puts all the theory to reality. And they're good, and I'm glad we're getting something out of it. With not as many numbers as the Camden and Brunswick, we kind of get wore out, but it's doing our kids good, kind of getting them ready for the fall.
Right. Now, Coach, this camp is an OTA. 7-on-7 is another type of camp that they have every summer. Talk a little bit about what your Indians have done up to this point and what you guys will do before you get to the regular season.
Well, we've done we've mainly been focusing on ourselves. We have met with Bacon a couple times to throw, and we're going to go up to Ware County tomorrow. But we've been lifting weights like everybody, running, doing agilities, and going over our pass and our 7-on-7 concepts and inside concepts and stuff. But and like I said, we've been working on ourselves and we've been trying to fit this other stuff in. It's been kind of a hectic summer for a little bit, but surely not like last year.
Right. Well, Coach, I know you added a couple of new staff new personnel to your staff. Talk a little bit about some of the new additions that you brought on to your team.
On the varsity staff this year, we hired Kevin Stevenson, who was a longtime athletic director and coach at Waycross Middle, and he's going to be coaching our linebackers. And I tell you what, he does a great job, phenomenal job. He set in, has a good rapport with the kids, and they like him and really like him. And so that's the big thing about guys on my staff. We got to make sure that the kids believe what we're doing. They'll play hard for you, and I'm excited about that. And I have a couple of guys that I have on the JV/junior high staff that are going to help us out. New guys straight out of college, and I hadn't got a chance really to know them yet, but I'm excited about it, though.
Right. Well, Coach, you got some good personnel coming back. Got a quarterback, I believe he's a rising junior, rising sophomore. Help me out there on that.
He's a junior.
He's a junior. Be a rising junior. Getting a lot of activity. People are, starting to, make offers, make overtures toward him to play at the next level. Talk a little bit about him and some of your other players that you expect.
Yeah, Jalen King, he looks the part. He's 6'3", 190 pounds, and I mean he looks good in uniform, and he's got great tools God gave him. We just got to get it out of him. And what's great about him, he's a great kid. He doesn't have a lot of that cockiness with him. He needs a little bit of it though, and that moxie and stuff. And he's getting it. He's getting it. And he has some confidence out here, making some great throws across his body and things like that. And I'm excited about what he can do. He's got the potential to do. And Coach Phillips and Coach Wittenberg, the quarterback coach, really works with him, and he's gaining strides every day. And he gets better every day, and that's what we want.
Right. Coach, you were just one game away from making the playoffs last year. You relied heavily on your defense. Talk a little bit about what the strength is going to be of this Indians team going into the 2021 season.
Assad Akbar, great young man, is rising senior, and you look at him, you're like, I don't know if I'd take him to play defensive line because he's shorter than I am, but I tell you what, that cat can play, and great young, but when he's out on the field, he's a mean son of a gun, and he's probably the heart of our defense. He'll keep them going on, and I got a sophomore nose guard that'll be by him. That's Jamie Jackson. He's fine, and I got my linebackers, Jalen Lilly, Nathan Hamlet, who's a new to the program. I'm excited about and Jay Harris. I'm excited about what they have going on, and corners. We got a lot of guys returning. We started off in 19. We were all freshmen. Now these guys are juniors. They kind of, it's kind of crazy, but they got hair on their legs now. They're 16 years old, that they're no longer 14. So I'm really excited about our defense and our offense.
Right.
Sure enough.
Well, Coach, you guys play in that super tough region: Brooks County, Clinton County, Irwin County. Generally, the state championship comes out of that, out of that region. But really, don't look for any let up on any of those other teams this year. It's going to be another tough region play.
Oh my gosh, really. You can look back and see if our season, if we go 5-5, that really could be a great year with the region we play in. And we're just trying to get in that hunt, just get that game to get into the playoff, and it's going to be tough. All of them are tough, and all the way down from Lanier all the way to Brooks and Irwin. So we just got to play.
Gibson Animal Clinic is ready to help with your animals. From cats to dogs to horses, we treat them all. Call on us for grooming, bathing, boarding, and more serious things like surgery, dentistry, spay, neuter, immunizations, heartworm prevention, flea control, complete lab testing, radiology, preventive health care. Call us at 285-7678. Open Saturdays for your convenience. Gibson Animal Clinic. Practical solutions with reasonable fees. Russell J. Gibson, DVM.
Gibson Animal Clinic, 108 Riverside Drive, across from Harvey's in Waycross.
Hablamos español en nuestra clínica.
High schoolers, did you know that you can get a head start on your college career and save money at the same time through dual enrollment at Coastal Pines Technical College? Dual enrollment is open to high school juniors and seniors, tuition free. Talk to your high school counselor or visit coastalpines.edu for more information. Coastal Pines Technical College, an equal opportunity institution. Go Coastal.
All right, Coach Derek. So coming off a big season last year, making it to the state championship game, I know you felt like your guys overachieved, but at the same time, you probably weren't surprised that happened. So talk about getting going again. How's the off season been? How's the summer been for Frederica?
It's been kind of hectic. Everybody's on vacation now. We don't have coronavirus, so everybody's been kind of gone. So we've been getting guys coming in. We graduated 16 seniors, so we've got a pretty small lineup. We've got a lot of guys with a lot of inexperience. So hopefully, they can fill in spots and we can be able to play here in the next couple of weeks and get ready to go. I think the scrimmages for us down the road is going to be more beneficial right now.
Now, I know you guys are always small in numbers, never have had a huge roster, but this year maybe a little smaller than usual. How are you going to manage that?
Very carefully. Right now, we're going to be, I think my staff does a really good job juggling people and trying to get people on and off the field. And like I said earlier, media day the biggest thing was we've got to figure out who we can get on the field and get off the field and teach kids 2 or 3 positions. And hopefully they can be good enough that we don't have a big drop off in certain spots to hold it in the road and get guys back on the field. And it's going to be a challenge. We got like 22 kids on the roster, so it's going to be a challenge for the staff and it's going to be a challenge for the kids.
So the official number going into August looks like 22?
We hope. Maybe less right now. So we're shooting for 22. If we get 25, I'll be really, really excited. We can do another interview.
Okay. So what have y'all been focusing on with all that said this summer? Just the typical usual stuff, or?
Really, the biggest thing we've been focused on is conditioning. Get in shape. The guys we're going to have to play a lot of snaps. So a lot of conditioning. Install has been big the last 2 or 3 weeks, trying to get stuff installed so our guys can understand. A lot of chalk talk, a lot of going over terminology. We got probably 6 new guys, that never played football. So just trying to get them to understand what I'm saying has probably been pretty difficult with all the football terminology that they got to understand.
Okay, I know in years past, particularly when you won a state championship, the skill guys were the strength of the team. Last year, I guess more so going into the year anyway, the guys in the trenches were maybe the strength of the team. Jordan's triplets probably the strength of the team, but after that, what's the strength of the Knights this year?
I think our skill kids, I think Thomas, Bill, coming back, having a year playing underneath, getting under the center and really, he's kind of involved. He understands what we're trying to do every time we snap the ball. He's looking at things. He can actually converse and tell me what he's seeing out there and understands a little bit more what the defense is doing. Our wide receivers, Bryce Riley, Blake Holloway, those guys are going to be big-time contributors. We're going to have to work it around because I know when everybody else knows that Jordan's going to touch the football too at the same time. So we got a lot of work to do with our O-line and D-line, but those skill kids will have to be leaned on a lot.
And I asked Jordan that just a minute ago. I mean, he had a target on his back before the end of the season last year, but everybody knows number 4 this year is going to touch the rock for sure. So how much better can that guy really be?
More of a leader, like understanding. I think he's got a better understanding of the offense and his leadership. He's been playing a lot with it. I mean, I wouldn't say younger guys, but the freshmen and people out there. He's a sophomore, but he can tell people what to do because he understands it a little bit more. So his leadership role on Friday night is going to be a little bit more than it was last year. Last year, we had a bunch of seniors, so we had a bunch of guys that could lead. He was just the man toting that rock behind that offensive line. So he feels pretty good about it. He understands what we're trying to do.
And Coach, obviously recruiting impacted by COVID last year, so coaches couldn't come see your players, and your players couldn't go to visit, so a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of creativity in recruiting all across high school and colleges. Could be the same this year. Don't know exactly where recruiting is going, but also the transfer portal is huge. And then the kids already in colleges got an extra year, so that trickle-down effect is still going to continue, maybe less roster spots, not only in the Power 5, but all the way down to the JUCO level. Where do you see recruiting going in the next 3, 4, 5 months, or even in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years?
I think it's kind of a tailspin right now in college. This transfer portal stuff, the loyalty of playing for your team and changing, and I see this by all these big Power 5 schools. They try to load up as many 5-stars, and I often wonder, well, why do they have 3 quarterbacks that's a 5-star? Why would you these kids know who they're going against when they get there. Go somewhere where you can play an instant impact player. I'm sure college has got a totally different idea, but at the end of the day, they're going to find them. They're going to find kids who can play. But film, getting it off the internet, whatever we're going to do, they're going to sit down and they're going to find them. And it might change the dynamic a little bit. I think it'll slow down some with the transfer portal. They're going to look at a lot of the JUCO kids. They're going to also look at the transfer portal, and then it's starting to get to high school. It's wasn't as big. I think high school recruiting is going to slow down probably in the next couple of years. And I think the NCAA is going to have to do something to fix all that.
All right. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time. Appreciate your time as always with the podcast and the whole 9 yards. And we do know where to find you over on the island if we ever need you. So we certainly appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
This has been On Air with 912 Sports. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back next week with more coverage of Southeast Georgia high school sports. On Air with 912 Sports has been brought to you by Summit Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Surgery, Prime South Bank, Gibson Animal Clinic, Coastal Pines Technical College, Robbie Robertson Ford in Waycross, and Kim Smoke, licensed realtor with Crossway Realty. This has been a presentation of 912 Sports, Southeast Georgia's #1 source for high school sports.